Good morning, people. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome, everybody. Today is a very special day because it's market open. So, welcome, everybody. Today we're gonna be trading NQ. More specifically, the micro contract of the NQ. We're gonna be trading DTFX. That's our strategy. But yeah, as we preach, every day is a trading day, even though there is no news. Some people might rely on that for volatility, but as you know, we do trade every day. Good afternoon, Iraq. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome. I hope you guys like the camera setup. I changed it up a little bit. It's a bit different, you know, a little bit different to what you're used to. I will turn down the music a little bit. So, if you guys were wondering what happened yesterday, nothing much. I had no entry. An entry could have presented itself, but it didn't. Unluckily. I will go over that in just a second. Let me open up the chat so I can read your guys' messages. So let me do that real quick. Okay, view live in control room. Cool. Yo, don't blink. Every day is a special market open day. Exactly, baby. Every day is a chance for you to make money, right? You can also lose money in these markets, so don't be too upset if you lose money, right? Everything happens for a reason. So let's go over what happened yesterday, and then we'll do the top-down analysis. So with I have a lot of trades from Monday. Let me just delete this. Okay, so with yesterday's market open, right? We opened up all the way up here in the pre-market, right? Well, on the market open, we had a candle here, right? A candle. Now I don't know why the watchers does not want to load from here, but I hope the stream is doing all right. Yeah, the stream is doing excellent. Okay, so with the market open candle, we swept the that we were talking about on stream, right? The 50 didn't deliver. The 50 over here, the next time it came to the zone, the 50 did not deliver. But what ended up happening was we created an but we swept an also. So you had a higher time frame narrative of us trading lower, and what we did was sweep that zone on the 5-minute. We got an entry, right? An entry did present itself. This was the highest closing bullish candle, and you could have taken an easy 1.5 hour or a 1 hour, whatever you prefer with the sweeps. We did have rounding here, so that was a kind of an extra when it comes to the entry, right? That was extra confluence with you might say. But after that, right, we went lower, right? We broke structure to the downside. We created these swings. You could have taken that as SNDR. I personally didn't. We broke structure to the downside. This was the protected low that we needed to close below. We didn't, right? I was looking for that zone to tap, and unfortunately we had no closure down below, so I did not end up taking an entry. Then we had us trading up above that high. I said to myself, okay, if I get a closure, right, this is a higher time frame swing. I believe it's the second swing, right? Because we had no apparent swings here. You could say, let's say it was the second swing, right? You could have taken that as SNDR. I had it marked, right, the 50 of it. I was waiting for a body closure of the 15-minute up above that high, but no body closure was given. So when price retraced back to the zone, it tapped the 50% and left, right, without me, because obviously I didn't have an entry. I also looked at this like in the post market open, right? Like after I stopped trading, I looked at the zone. I was like, okay, this might be that might deliver, and delivered insane R, because we also had that rounding, right? I was looking for a trade back into the zone and then go lower. A couple of you guys took these in the Discord, right? Took this zone, which I don't have a problem with. I don't really have a problem with you taking that zone. It's a good zone. I don't blame you guys. We have 1, 2, 3 taps. The 4th tap was the 50% delivered, right? What you could see next is a possible sweep of that zone, a trade back into the range, and maybe go higher. We'll look at the TDA together and decide. But if you just looked at this MM that we posted, I don't know if I posted this, but yeah, it's essentially it was an MM. We had 1, 2, 3 taps. The 4th tap, 50% delivered perfectly, right? And then we traded higher, traded lower, swept the zone, boom, the 5-minute sweep actually delivered. I talked about this in I got a question from I got a question in the Discord, right? Would I take the 15 or the 5-minute zone here, right? And it's essentially, you go up a time frame, you see which swing does this belong to, right? Well, sorry, which time frame does this swing belong to, right? Is it the 5? Is it the 15? Right? The 15 almost, yeah, it isn't even a validated swing on the 15. On the 5-minute, however, it is a validated one, right? We closed down below that bullish candle, gave validation to that swing, and boom, right? So we would be taking the 5-minute here. Let me see the 15. How does it look? It doesn't look too good because now the entry on the 15 is all the way up here. If you were taking the sweep, the entry is all the way up here targeting, you know, the moon. We don't want to be targeting the moon. But yeah, the TDA from yesterday delivered like to the T. Oh, yeah, to the T. Like this is what I drew yesterday in the TDA. Insane. Yo, good morning, Rust. Good morning. Glad to see you in the stream. Okay, cool. Let's yeah, for the TDA, what I had us doing was that sweep of the MM, right? The 4 taps sweep. I wanted it to tap the 50, which was the 948 level, and move higher, but it seemed like it just missed it by a couple of points. Yo, good morning, Plastic. Welcome to the stream, everybody. No monster today. No monster. Okay. Okay, with that said, good morning. Yeah, 2 times. how was your sleep, Rust? So yeah, the 30%, that's the 30% of the 4 hour. We could see a trade all the way up into the SNDR of the 4 hour SNDR. We just have to continue to monitor the lower time frame swings, right? Let's just go to the 5 minutes so I can give you guys what I'm looking for in terms of the swings, right? On the 15, right, this would be the validated swing, the protected low all the way here, right? We got a closure down below it, so this would be a flip, right? We had an SNDR here, a small SNDR. I wouldn't really, a lower time frame. I woke up yesterday. Oh, my bad, bro. My bad. So yeah, now we're trading inside of this swing, right? Which we tapped 30, and now we're trading off of it. This would be our previous swing point, right? You can expect a rejection here from the 50%. I would, however, be mindful because this leg that tapped into that whole up move, right, did mitigate it by only the 30%, right? The 50 is still unmitigated. So what you can see is then a tap, a 50, a delivery of 1-to-1, and so on, right? Hey, cool. So, how are you guys doing on this fine Wednesday? How are you doing? Let me hear some words in the chat. Come on, wake up, guys. Market opens in 10 minutes. Let's go, baby. Yo, Winksane, yo. Oh, I hope you don't hear that. So yeah, the 5 minute the 5-minute delivered. If you just look, right, when I said the second sweep, right, the second sweep of the usually comes for the high that the first sweep delivered. That's exactly what I mean, right? So you see the second sweep delivering that entry, coming down to sweep that, and then coming up to sweep that high also. Are you still in Dave's mentorship? I am not, Chartismo. I was for about 2 years, and I learned as much as I could. But yeah, the second time on stream trying to regain execution confidence. Yo, don't blink. Hey, that's a lovely name. I love it. Some creativity. Oh my god, I can't even pronounce it. Some creativity is going on there. I love it, man. But yeah, regaining execution confidence, it does usually stem from backtesting alone. So I do suggest, you know, just picking up some reps in backtesting. That's probably the best thing you can do right now. I mean, if I lost execution confidence, and I did lose it a bunch of times, right? I just go bust out a couple reps on stream, oh, not on stream, but on the backtesting software. Yeah, that's essentially how I go about backtesting. Well, execution confidence, right? Execution confidence. So we do have this previous swing point, but we did also note that we could end up sweeping that and then tapping, trading away from it, right? Let me just mark out that 30, 50, 70. Yeah, that's about right. So if you see a confirmation entry over here, you can take price lower. I do still have this 50 left unmitigated, so I could see this being tapped and then moving higher. And if this does, I took that sweep on demo, and I was disgusted with the market, almost unfriended it on Facebook. That sweep was really nice. If you took it on 1 minute, I think it delivered as well. Yeah, on 1 minute it delivered as well if you took it, but on the 5 minute, it delivered flawlessly, right? But the 15 minute, yeah, the 15 minute story is a little bit different because your lowest closing a bearish candle is all the way up here, right? And you haven't even gotten tapped in, and I wouldn't really take that entry. But yeah, that's a really good entry, right? A really good entry. I'm hoping, well, I'm not hoping. What I'm trying to see the market, well, yeah, what I see the market doing is tapping that zone, going lower, creating that third swing, and then going, right? That's what I would like to see now. It's what I would like to see. It's not the actual, it's discretion at the end of the day. This last part. Okay, so are we ready? Are we ready? Let me just reconnect with Trade of 8. Okay. Okay, so we are back, baby. We are back. So if you guys were a part of the Tradeify World Cup, if you know, made some bets on it, you should have gotten a 50% off code in your email. Just kind of neat, right? You can share it with your friends or whatever, if they need it. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, this is the protected high. Yeah, market open in 6 minutes. Let's go, baby. Hopefully this is a quick session. Unfortunately, not a validated swing here. On the 5 minute, it looks really bad, but on the 1 minute, of course, it is validated. So this is the sweep that we just, the partial mitigation, right? The liquidity sweep, whatever you want to call it. I did see some, one trader on the shorts, right? He was talking about these sweeps in particular, and how you can, you know, go short, place your stops above the zone, and, you know, target resting liquidity. Had the 30-50 and everything. Okay. Yeah, the 50 is just up above. Let me just make sure all of the accounts are set up, and let me make sure the connection is set up. Let me see my trade of 8. Okay, cool. So we have everything set up. Let me load up the instruments. Cool. And this is, this is nice. There should be more accounts, yeah, like this. Okay, bet. This, M&Q. Wait, so if I'm risking, I'll do the quick maths now. So that's 900. Okay. So 4x. I had to do the Tradeify 150k. I added it to the fleet, right? I have to, you know, set up the ratio, right, between the accounts. Oh man, let's go, baby. Do we have an origin up above? We do have an origin up above. But I do want to see these highs. Yo, Rush, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are enjoying this new little setup. I mean, it's nothing drastic. But yeah. So if you want to calculate risk, there is a good website that I created, which is the risk calculator on my domain, right? This is the one that I personally use, and it's lovely. Like, you just input the risk in dollars, the entry size, and just automatically gives you. And this is the risk, right? And you can drag the R, right? If you want 3R, you can see how much you could have made. Let's say we want to risk $300, right? On 154 ticks, right? It's gonna calculate how much money you could have made, right? So let me see what Wingsing said. So you copy from evals to PAs. I copy PAs to evals. So it's one PA that I copy across PAs and an eval. And sometimes I just take a trade on the eval alone, right? Let me see if this was drawn out correctly. Yeah. So I do have a copier setup. When I was trading multiple evals at a time, I had two copiers, right? The one for PAs and the one for evals. Because I took some trades on the evals, which I didn't on the PAs, right? If you have one eval, that's fine. You can just, you know, shuffle it. But if you have multiple evals, you kind of need two copiers. And with the Apex copier, it's really neat because you can do multiple copiers at a time. Yeah, it's really lovely software, I'm gonna be honest. And with this, so we have market open in just about a minute. This isn't usually a good sign, right, for that high, the V shape. So we're gonna continue to observe that, not taking any shorts and not marrying any bullish bias or short bias just yet, right? We're gonna wait for confirmation. Yeah, really convenient, especially, yeah, for a prop firm trader, that's, well, who wants to scale, that's perfect, right? Yeah, of course it does cost a little bit more, but it's perfect. So let's get started with the market open. Oh, the market opens on 20 seconds. Let's go, baby. So, as we said, we're not gonna marry any biases today, okay? It can tap here and go lower, it can tap higher and go lower, it can go and sweep that MM and go lower, right? But we aren't gonna marry any bias. So if we have market open right now, let's see what okay, so we have a bullish candle, right? We said no biases, right? No biases. We aren't trading the market open. And as I said, on market open there's usually an MM being swept, right? And the MM is all the way up above here. If we were to trade the MM, right? The price opened up with a bullish candle. We can see another tap of that zone up above before it goes and sweeps and delivers, right? So this is another area, right? This is the area that I want a potential rejection at. But it's such a shame because look at this. At 8:56, what happened was it tapped. Well, it shot down, almost tapped the 50 and then got up. If it tapped the 50, I would be okay. We may be getting a 1-to-1 on the entire zone here, right? But it didn't, right? So I can't say that for certain. Because it can still come all the way down and sweep it. So no potential SNDR entries just yet. But yeah, welcome everybody that I haven't welcomed yet to the stream. We are trading MNQ. Well, this is NQ. Let me switch to MNQ. Do we have any drawings on MNQ? Ah, we don't. Okay, let's go back to NQ. So this is essentially the area, the origin area that you could see a tap from. It could dig a little deeper and then move off. I'm just expecting a rejection here. I'm not expecting an entry here. If I was expecting an entry, you would have saw a blue line, I think, or a red one. I don't know for shorts. But I'm pretty sure it is a line. I know for longs because we took a long on stream on Monday, right? This Monday, 2 days prior. But yeah, the way this is just going higher and higher and higher, I would not really take an entry here, right? If I had a limit here and I saw this, just straight bullish candles on market open, I would just remove the limit entirely, right? Because I don't want to be a part, because I was a part of that entry before and I saw it just go higher and higher and higher and I still had that limit there, and what price just went and dug like through the zone entirely, and I was left there with drawdown more than I risked, right? Because it's just so happened to have slipped the stop loss. just so convenient, just so convenient. And if you guys do experience slippage on these accounts, make sure to set your own stop losses. And as I said, it tapped the zone, right? The zone we were expecting, well, we still are a 1-to-1 on that zone, right? The tap alone on the top of the zone. But I said, yeah, it could dig deeper, give a rejection off of it, and then go higher, right? But yeah, the zone delivered. Both of the zones delivered. Crazy though, crazy. This would be the second swing origin, right? And if we end up breaking this, I do see us coming into that 50 up above. If we don't, if we start trading lower from here, I do see us, you know, potentially going all the way to the 947. But yeah, that tap was nasty. Right on the right to the tick. Right to the tick. So let me see where the 50 is. So we drew a zone here, if I'm not mistaken, and this seems to not load. Okay, trading view is a little fuzzy today. Yeah, the 50 is just up above, up in this zone. So if we do end up trading higher, you could see us, right? That POI would be that 50, right? Let me just mark out that high. So cool. Are you guys seeing any entries? You probably wouldn't say, right? But yeah, if you wanna, you can share that. But no news today. No news that we would care about today. That's really neat. That's really neat. Just let me see. Okay, this would be the down move. Okay, I see. I have to scroll on NinjaTrader so much, man. Price is just in another dimension. So no entries? Okay, no trades here. Okay. Okay, just asking, you know. I don't want you guys to be caught in something. You know, maybe I can explain, like go through the entry. Yeah, that would be. As I said, these green candles coming into the zone aren't usually a good sign. I'm thinking possible rejection at 29 to 11 at the 50% to 11. Yeah, all the way up here, right? Yeah, this would be the 211, right? Yeah, that's a good possible rejection that can happen, right? Yeah, but it just so happens that the 50 wasn't happening. I'm still processing that. So we're looking what we're looking at here is snapping that zone again and violently trading away from it. Oh man, interesting day today. Interesting day. So if that zone does, you know, end up being created and does not, well, yeah, if that zone does end up being created and it moves higher, this could be the last down move before the break of that high. But you gotta understand that the 50 of that higher time frame is all the way up here. Okay, no entries for me just yet. We just kind of suck today. So after that sweep of that what I'm expecting is a trade going back into the range and then go higher. It can go higher. right? We can't go higher, but I'm looking at ultimately at that 50%. This is just mitigating itself going higher. That that happened, just so happened on the M1 is hella strong, holding down price like this. We went, tapped it, delivered, tapped it, delivered, tapped it, delivered. Crazy stuff. But yeah, this zone that I said that you could see as a possible SNDR is mitigated, right? This has mitigation to itself. If we just look at the candlestick structure, price traded up above that, traded back into the 50% of it, and if that goes and trades higher, that zone is no use to me, because that zone is already mitigated, right? It has mitigation to it already. And just, you know, me personally, I wouldn't really look for a zone that looks like this for a potential long, rather a sweep of the entire zone. And it is bouncing, right? It is bouncing. So this is the M1 and there's a smaller time frame over here, the little fractal. But yeah, look at how this is rejecting from that M1 level alone. Hopefully we do end up, yeah, trading higher, right? Tapping the 50 and going, well, possibly going lower. Now that 30% tap, it doesn't mean that it has to now go lower. That 30 tap, it doesn't mean that it has to go now lower. It just means that, yeah, okay, it was a level that we rejected off of. Now, are we gonna go lower? Okay, we don't know that for certain yet. Just looking at the swings, we are still in that previous swing. We are still bullish. So let me see the M1. So as we were saying, I think did this deliver a 1-to-1 on it? Did this? Oh yeah, it did. Oh. Yo, Lou. Did you end up taking that 50 again? Yo. That's nice. Yeah, for the sweep, I think I would be comfortable with a possible rejection at 211. Yeah, of course, okay. But yeah, delivered, right? The MM zone is a good zone. We know that. Like it just so happens to be everywhere. Everywhere. So as I said, I would not be using this zone. More so looking for a bit higher now, right? 211. And then a possible rejection all the way down. So if you're in doubt, right? Whenever you're in doubt with structure, which you probably are, and I'm not saying that because, you know, I want to offend anybody, but just look at where your highs and lows are, right? Look at this higher time frame high and look at this higher time frame low. We are still in that range, right? And if we don't break out of that range, we are still bullish, right? On the higher time frame. But as I said, the higher time frame low was broken. So what you can expect is a range. That's what you can expect, not what's going to happen. Oh, that's brutal. No entries here. Ah, that sucks. Absolutely nothing here. Oh, look at that pump. You see, while having a limit here is not a good idea, a limit here, a stop here, you could have just been wiped out in one single candle push. In one push. You know, that's why we wait for the confirmation, because a confirmation is needed. And this did end up tapping the 211. Now just, you know, for reference, for future reference, if there is a small zone like this, and there just so happens to be a large candle, just know that the large candle, well, your targets, right? Know where your targets are. That large candle, is it, you know, maybe too large? Is it coming from a higher time frame? Because you can't really take a lower time frame entry, right? A lower time frame entry, what you're expecting to deliver is, you know, a small move back into the range. Is that move that you're expecting the size of that risk, right? Because what happens is you have a 10 point, for example, a 10 point, okay, this is 10 points, a 10 point and there's a 100 point candle going through the zone, right? Are you gonna sell stop that zone? Do you think that is strong enough to yield you 100 points into the opposing direction? Or the POI up above? Yeah, and sometimes I'm gonna say stuff that, you know, you're gonna have an entry and I'm gonna say something that's gonna make you confused rather. But that's just my rules, right? If you trade your own rules, trade them, right? If you're, be confident in them, right? Be confident in those rules because you backtested it, not me. You backtested it. The trading plan, of course, right? That's what I'm talking about. So with that sweep, what we're expecting now, right? We are tapping that higher time frame level. That higher time frame level is the 15-minute up move. Now, where can this move go to, right? It can go to the 1-to-1, right? Or it can go to the zone, right? We don't have enough money to put in that move, right? We don't have enough money. We're just trading our plans here. We're trading our plans. If our plan says short, we're gonna short. If our plan says long, we're gonna long, right? We're not gonna worry about any lows or highs being put in, any moves. We just wanna trade our plan. That's all we gotta do. And if your plan says, yo, there's a good setup here, make sure you enter on it. Go enter. Take that trade, right? Take it. So this did sweep the this did tap the POI, alright? And the M1 entry, you had it tapped, right? These are all of the criteria that is essentially, well, that is essential for an sweep entry. Now, I don't know about, well, let me see MNQ. Did MNQ end up sweeping, well, tapping the higher time frame swing? Oh, it did. Okay, I thought it was gonna be like one of those MNQ NQ things, but no, it's not. There's an origin here that we could possibly get a bounce off of. So yeah, so this is the last down move, but there is a double bottom over here. We're gonna refine that to the double bottom. You guys are awfully quiet in the chat today. Like, there's 17 of you here. Nobody writing anything. Awfully, just, you know, minding their own business. Taking their entries. Watching and learning. Hey, love it. Love it. This didn't end up tapping the 50. Okay. Well, wait. Oh yeah, I did. Never mind. So going back to the M1. So if you back tested the MM entry, right? Your entry would have been exactly this, right? This would have been your entry. Now I don't know how many are you usually guys. Well, you guys usually go for. But this is essentially the entry that you take, right? And with every entry, you have to know that there's a possibility of a loss. Now, there can be a perfect MM zone, a perfect one, and you still end up taking a loss. But yeah, let me just go and plug in my app, because I am gonna go to the gym after. I wanna do cardio. A funny story, by the way. I don't know if you guys want to hear this because you're probably in an entry. But I was alone in the gym today. I was alone. And what happened, there's like a unwritten policy of, you know, wearing shirts in the gym. And I just so happened to take it off. And 1-to-1 is enough. Yeah, I mean, if you have your entry back tested, you should have. I mean, I don't know what you guys are taking. I'm not a genie, but 1-to-1 is enough. Yeah, but you can take realistically 1.5 to 2. 1.5 is like the most successful one, I would say, in terms of ROI. But of course, yeah, you're gonna have less entries, less are gonna deliver, more stop outs. But over the span of 300 trades, you're gonna end up being more profitable. Yeah, that's essentially the trade that you would take, right? But yeah, this doesn't look good for you guys. I'm watching NQ right now. It's doesn't. If you took it. Now, I would suggest you take at least 300 to 500 entries on, and you got slipped. I would suggest 300 to 500. Now, why? Because you're gonna end up, you know, seeing me post that trade, seeing me post that MM. You have maybe 5 entries back tested, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna lose confidence in it. You're gonna take a couple losses, and you're gonna be like, wait. Like, this doesn't work, but have actually done a good amount of backtesting on this to, you know, see, okay, was this just part of the statistical anomaly? Well, was this just a part of the statistics, or was this a statistical anomaly? Was I doing something wrong? Right? No, in this case, it was an A+ entry. I'm not arguing here. You know, an A+ can be a loss too. I hope you guys didn't take a loss here. I hope you guys are not trading MMs already, because how are you trading MMs? Did you backtest 300 entries in 3 weeks? I mean, it's possible, but you have to have backtested for at least like 50 entries a day. So yeah, please, for the love of God, make sure to get enough data behind the entry before you go ahead and take the entry, because you don't know if you don't know where you're losing, right? You don't know where you're winning. That's good data to have. Good data to have. Really good data. So what I would suggest, taking the tap, right? They're just crawling higher. Yeah, crawling higher. Yeah. Now, again, this really bothers me. This here bothers me a lot, because I would say, okay, yeah, we're maybe just going for a high, but this did not end up tapping. So I mean, that sucks. So what I do suggest with MMs that you do with backtesting, trade the tap, like the 50% tap, and the sweep. The 50 and the sweep. That's probably what's gonna yield you the most R, and it's gonna prevent you from taking, you know, this loss can be 1 R, but this winner can also be a 1.5 R. So if you take plus 1 R here, and you take minus 1 R here, you're at break even. If you take minus 1 R here, and minus 1 R here, you're at minus 2. But if you take plus 1 and plus 1.5, right? You still with me? So gather data. How many times does this deliver, right? What's the percentage of win rate on this entry? And what's the percentage of data on this entry? What levels do they deliver? Both, right? Do they deliver more than 1 R? Do they deliver just 1 R? What's the highest percentage on those entries? Oh yeah, and everything here is just mitigated, so this is just gonna be lunch. So you can see a possible tap of the 70 to go lower. Let me just mark out that. That's the double bottom. Should I? Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Hold on. Double bottom. Looks tasty. Nothing. For market open, what we done? We just go higher. No apparent SNDR entry for me yet. But a possible scenario that I just see happening, right? If this does continue higher, but I can't say for certain because of that level. If this does continue higher, you could see that second swing, right? The SNDR be a good entry to go higher. But at the moment, we're just crawling and crawling and crawling higher. Okay, any questions? Any questions about the PA? Because this certainty does not... Yo, Plastic, by the way, if you're still here, experiment. As I said, gather data on the entry. What do you see deliver most? With these entries, what do you see deliver most? Is it the sweep, right? Is it the tab? And what delivers most R? Is it the sweep or is it the tab? Maybe throw in an SNDR there too, right? Just see. The data part is really, really important. Yeah, no trades. Damn. Just going higher. Not a lot of volatility in Asia though. I took a small loss, staying calm and waiting for the next setup. I thought it was a good area just against momentum. Yeah, heavily against momentum. Would you mind sharing the loss? What was it on? If it, yeah. But yeah, after the fact, you go and look. My work, I'm free just now. Yo, Ahmed, welcome to the stream, bro. Welcome. Looking after the fact, right, we just see a massive bullish run. So we are tapping the 70 at the moment. We could see a rejection at 310s somewhere along there. 310s, yeah. Man, that no monster today, you do feel the difference. You do feel the difference. No caffeine, no caffeine. Yeah, my heart rate is a little steadier. At least, you know, at least we're being healthy. So yeah, that move higher, what you have to see here is a confirmation, right? You can trade. It was a short 211s, gave 60-ish. Oh, at 211. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the 211, if you were shorting the area, like the whole area, it did deliver. In hindsight, intra candle, it looked like a rejection, but now looking back, oh, okay. I just wonder where you had your stop loss at. Or was it the MM sweep? Yeah, 60 points is massive. I mean, compared to the whole zone is like nothing. If we were shorting the whole zone, it's 150. But then in hindsight, you see everything, right? In hindsight, we used to be, well, and still are, geniuses. You see everything. You know exactly why that stop ran. You know everything. You know. It's a little harder. 2, 3. Okay, it's not a huge loss. Yeah, it's a small loss. Yeah. In hindsight, we are geniuses. We know the market. We are the market makers. We move the markets. You know. But yeah, when it comes to live trading, yeah, some of that dissipates, and it does usually stem from confidence alone. Because in hindsight, you're confident, right? Because you see the setup already presented itself. You know, you see, okay, this is an SNDR, it delivered, right? Okay. Yeah, you're confident because why? You see it already delivering. You're confident because it already delivered. And where do you see setups delivering, right? If we were to just take a step back and try to build on that confidence, where do we see setups delivering? A real head scratcher this is. Yeah, it's in the live market, but how could we speed that up, for example? Yeah, in the live markets you can mark out the zone and then it delivers slowly. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm trying to find the word for it. But yeah. Boom. I should make a tattoo. I should do a tattoo. Back testing across my whole forehead. But yeah, that's essentially what it is, right? And a lot of you may disagree. On this, but you know, when you see an MM like this already deliver on the 5 minute, for example, you're like, oh yeah, this is a good zone, right? You can long this type of zone, right? Yeah, but it's different in live markets because you actually have to put in the reps. Delicious MM. Yeah. I know. Delicious indeed. But yeah, it stems from confidence, from reps. You actually have to put in reps in backtesting because you see it delivering so many times. And then you're just like, okay, when price is already here, you're just like, okay, yeah, the sweep is likely to deliver, right? And you're confident in those words. You're confident. You have reasoning. You have data behind those words. Okay, let me stop the yapping. The MM is also an SNDR. Does that make it special? Now, if you just look at the 15 minute, right? Because it did make me mad, really mad yesterday. Well, it was yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday. Because I was looking in pre-market, I was looking at this high. Okay, if we get a closure up above that high when price is here, if we get a closure up above that high, I might be interested in taking longs from the SNDR. And I was like, okay, let me just wait for market open. I was looking at this. I had it marked out at 30, 50, 70. I watched it tap the 50. I watched it deliver, then go higher to put in a closure. And unfortunately, yeah. And only 5 likes. Yeah, there's 21 people watching. Hey, thank you, Benny. Thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate it. But I was looking at this zone, this SNDR. This is the SNDR. But this is an MM, right? And this SNDR was also an MM. So good eye. And on market open, we just happened to sweep and deliver. But yeah, good eye, Ahmed. Good eye. Really nice. But that MM, this MM is not an SNDR. This one is. This one is. So what we want to see here is a lower time frame flip. So trading up above, putting a closure, and then flipping below that protected low. That's what we want to see. For, you know, possible bearish price entries, right? Man, in this pre-market session, when I got home, I redesigned the website. I hope you guys like it. But yeah, essentially added a few things. A really neat thing that I'm so proud of. If you guys just go right now and look on my website, benchina.com, when you come in, there's like an animation, you know, a protected high, protected low, and then a break of structure, and then an SNDR being printed, you know, the limit and everything. I think it's so neat. I love it. I'm so proud of that. So we said, right, a rejection at the 70. Where to? Maybe the 30. May just be the case. But we do have this previous swing on the 1 minute that we could essentially tap into, and that flat candle bottom. So I hope that you guys are doing what I say. I can only pray. So if I say, for example, right, if I introduce any concept to you guys, if I introduce something new to you guys, and I say go back test it, right? I mean it. Okay, I really mean it. Please send some pictures in the backtesting channel. Let me see you backtesting it, right? Because if I see you taking an entry, like a loss that could have been avoided with backtesting, it makes me sad. It genuinely makes me sad because I know that it could have been avoided easily, right? Now there is a guy. I'm not gonna mention any names, but there is a guy that was struggling, and now I see, and I'm monitoring the backtesting, and I see like there's like little quirks, like little things that we're changing, and his win rate is going higher, right? His win rate is going up, and that makes me so happy because in backtesting, and you know, we go, you know, samples, like sample sizes, we go like 25, I think it's 50 trades, every 50 trades, or 25. and we just see like what is the win rate. And you know, we tweak some, you know, maybe look at the higher time frame more, you know, look at the higher time frame, like structure. Yeah, because a higher time frame directional bias is part of the narrative part. It is part of the, like, the four foundation, the pillars, the four pillars of DTFX. It's S, N, Z, C, right? The C for confirmation, right? The narrative part, if you don't have all of these, if you only have the zone and MM, you're not going to be profitable. That was a good MM sweep. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know where the zone is. I don't even know what zone we just took. I think it was this one, right? Yeah, cool. Right, nice, John. Good job. If you don't have all four of these, you just have the MM and no structure, you're gonna end up being unprofitable. Sadly, right? You're gonna end up messing up somewhere because you're not gonna know where. And you're not gonna know where. So that's why I preach so much. Because it's like the little things, the little tiny things that you don't even know. How many entries should someone do per backtest? 50. And how to choose dates? Just go 2021, 2022, 2023. It doesn't matter. Just do a whole year. I did the whole year of 2024. I did the whole year of 2025. I did 2024. Yeah, no, 2023. I have all of these back tested, right? And I traded them too. Live traded them. Yeah, 50 in one session, like in a day. 50 in a day. Okay, let's say 30. Let's say 30. Let's be more realistic, because I can do 50 a day. I can do 100. I can do 100. If I really wanted to, but that's gonna take me a lot of hours. And I'm not talking 2, I'm talking like 8. Let's say 30 a day is a good goal to have. Yeah, you lose focus, you go and do something else. You go and take a walk, for example, something that doesn't require focus. And if I'm not mistaken, John, the MM, is it perhaps like the little one inside of here, like the little zone here, over here? Is it this? So this 3 taps and then the sweep, and then the 4th tap and the sweep. I'm just curious, right? And yeah, Ahmad, you can do how many you can do, right? Let's say you set a goal of time, not entries, right? Let's say you want to backtest for 2 hours. 2 hours a day. That's perfectly reasonable. And I think you can get away with at least 20 entries. High was 242. Oh, 242 all the way down here. Oh, I see this zone. Is it an MM though? Let's take it. Okay, yeah, so we have 2, 3 taps and then a sweep and a perfect delivery. Boom. Yeah, that's, hey, if you're consistent with it, Ahmad, if you're consistent, that's enough, right? You just gotta be consistent. Come in every day. Hey, I understand, but just be consistent. Do 1 hour a day, set a goal, but be consistent, right? Like the gym. If you go to the gym inconsistently, you're gonna get inconsistent results. In backtesting, if you're inconsistent with it, you're gonna get what? Inconsistent results. So make sure to be consistent, you know, be disciplined. And I really mean this. Be disciplined. When it comes to backtesting, when it comes to all areas of your life, make sure to teach yourself the discipline. And yeah, perfect. Look, 20 entries a day in 10 days, that's 200 entries. That's perfect, you know, because some people are so inconsistent. You know, they bust out 100 entries per day and they just do one day and they burn out. You can do 20 a day, and across a month he's gonna do 100 and you're gonna do 2, right? No, you're gonna do 300 entries, while the guy is just burnt out. In one day he busted out 100 and then he said F backtesting and that's all. Backtest going to the bathroom every morning. Yeah. Vegan Pies, welcome. This is your first message here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yeah, but in all seriousness, I hope you guys are not only listening to this but actually hearing this. Well, did we just get the sweep? What? Yeah, that's essentially the target, right? With this, usually what happens is price retraces, right? Retraces. With these flat candles, these can be used as targets. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this run. Yes, lovely stream. Hey, I love it, man. I love that you're loving it. I appreciate that. But yeah, with these flat candle lows, right? Whenever a candle opens up and immediately shoots up, right? With no wick here, you can use that as a potential target, right? For price, because what usually happens here is price retraces. And that retracement can just lead into a, you know, trade higher. For example, you took a flip here. You took a flip. What are you gonna target? That's the first target. Well, the first target is the 1-to-1, but the second target, for example, that sweep. Alright? You can utilize these flat candle highs and lows, for example, there's a flat candle here too, as targets for price to, you know, come up above Man, such a lovely day today. I don't know what's up with, like, every day that I come into the markets, my day just instantly, boom, brighter, just like that. Nothing happened. The market just opened. That's the only thing that happened. But when that happens, right? When the market opens, my day just instantly, bam, to the good, from bad to good. So, case in point, passionate about this, passionate about streaming, passionate about trading. I love it, right? I love this. I live for this, right? Yeah, at the start I wasn't as passionate because I just wanted to make money, but now that I see the value, right? It's not just the face value of trading. Yeah, you're gonna make money. Yeah, of course. Okay, money's one thing, but actually living for this, being, you know, in love with the process of learning, in the process of calling price, you know, trading alone, like, it's so much more than just making money, right? You learn so many things about yourself, how you behave in a stressful situation, what's your decision making like under stress, right? And not only that, but you learn from it. It's amazing. Yeah, it's one of the hardest things that you're gonna, you know, end up doing. It's one of the hardest things. The psychology behind trading it's immense, right? It's one of the hardest things that you're gonna start learning, but it's also the risk to reward, right? Let's call it risk to reward, since we're talking about trading. The risk to reward is infinite. It's infinite. So I hope you guys understand this. So yeah, that's sweep, right? What's the next target? That sweep. No, I don't wanna be cocky. But yeah, the flat candle highs and lows are a good good target to have. And as we speak, it has just ran through. So for example, if you had a long here, let's say you long this. Where's your first target? Okay, 1-to-1. The second target, the sweep. Boom. You can take partials. Maybe you're taking entries at the 30% of the zone, you know, and putting your stop behind the 50 or the 70, right? Your first target, your second target. This really nicely correlates with the previous candle too. But yeah, pretty much it. So what I do want to see, if this goes higher now, if this goes higher, a closure up above here, and if price wants to go lower, what we want to see is a closure up above, as we said, then trade lower, put in a closure here, and so on. Do those flat candles work on what kind of question is this, Ahmed? It works on all time frames. let's go and find one real quick. But yeah, they do, of course. Look, just here, I think this was open. Yeah, so we can't really yeah, this was a whole different scenario. But let me just, yeah, look right here, where the thing is, look. And this was not open, this was 2 a.m. Flat candle low, swept it and went higher, right? For example, what if you had a short here? What if you had a short from that tap the 50? That was in London, right? That was in London. You could have targeted that flat candle low and not the 1-to-1, for example, and profited. But you know, price, yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the 15-minute, by the way. And look here, look, another case in point. When the was created, let's go back a second. Let's say you were taking a flip here. Let's say you were taking a flip here. Where's your entry? Your entry is at the 50. Your 1-to-1, your target can be a 1-to-1, but you see on the even on the 1 minute there was a flat candle, but you could have targeted that, and then price went higher. Boom, you know, that's good narrative. Gonna back this. I love that, man. ES just swept this week's high. The entire top 10 stocks opened red, and with the war in oil price going higher and higher, I think the session will be bearish. Emphasis on I think. Okay, don't blink. I'll come to you later. Let me just look at ES, right? Let's see the weekly. Okay, the weekly on ES. Oh man, I already know what's up here. I'm gonna delete everything. So yeah, ES is just in that pizza pattern. So let's go to the hourly, right? Okay, the hourly. We did have this right? And we did call it on stream that it's gonna deliver. We had a sweep of the sweep, and what did that second sweep do? What did that second sweep do? It went for the low that the first sweep delivered. You know, that's exactly what it did. Okay, yeah, we have a double bottom here. I think we're yeah, we're MMing here. That's ES that we're looking at right now. Yeah, you could see a tap here, a 1-to-1, and then a possible sweep to go higher. I'm not entirely sold on this going higher just yet, right? So even though there's a double bottom here, I do not see this going higher. Like, this is just a range that we're in on ES. So don't blink, Lamau, that's exactly my entry. 30 stopped behind the 50, but got stopped BE again about confidence. Motivates me to back this one. Hey, I love that. I love that it motivates you, because it's what's gonna drive you. It's what's gonna drive you to profitability quicker. Would you rather find out this in live trading over the span of 1 year, or would you rather learn that over the span of a month in backtesting? Boom. Also, GS are gonna go higher again. Gas and you mean gas and stocks? I'm not sure about the about that, but if you want to backtest, look, there's an amazing software that I use. I'm affiliated with them. I'm partnered with them. But you can use my code, right? There is a link in the description that you can use to sign up. It's and code Benchina, right, for 25 off. It's a good software. It's better than FX Replay. I use it personally for my backtesting, and I really wouldn't recommend it for you if I didn't like it. And I love it. I love the platform. I love everything that it has to offer. It just doesn't have the seconds time frame. That's the only thing that's lacking, but everything else, amazing. Let me see GC. Okay, so GC opened up, went higher, a double bottom here. Okay, so this all delivered. Okay, well, that's Sunday. That's, I don't think we marked this out. Did we mark? It's great, not good. Yeah, it's great. Look, this is Wingsane. He's using the platform, and we have Crystal too, which can vouch for Rush. Sorry, Rush, not Crystal. So we have a double bottom on gold, right? You know what that means. You know what that means. And an MM, and an MM here. Let me check silver. What's silver ticker? Is it SI? SI1, like this for the continuous? Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, and the silver is just, ooh. What's crazy how the order of events changes anything. If I hadn't taken the first lot, I'd be more willing to let the second trade play out instead of going BE. Hey, that lovely, lovely, man. Because, you know, one small thing changed. One small thing. But yeah, I think yeah, confidence, man. Confidence is a big thing in trading. And if you lack it, for example, if you lack confidence in real life, you're gonna have trouble with trading. But let me just mark out this MM on silver. This is the 4-hour time frame. I do see this MM. We're just doing a macro analysis. NQ is making a double top for all of you that are trading NQ at the moment. But yeah, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swings. So you can see a break here and then a possible retracement back into the zone. Something like that. Oh, this was an SNDR. Okay, so we are on an SNDR. Oh my god, is that a weekly SNDR? What is Ziga marking, man? But yeah, cool, okay. Let's go back to NQ. So on NQ, on the weekly, we do have that previous swing down below that is still left unmitigated. So look at this, right? Look at this. So we had this flat candle, swept, boom. And that flat candle swept, boom. It traded into the opposite direction. Now, I'm not saying that you can't, but I'm saying that it's possibly a good idea to backtest this exact concept. But because I use it in my personal trading. For example, if I have a short up above here, I would be more inclined to take it, more confident if there was a flat candle like this there. So we just did a double top, right? Where are we trading to? And my chart is a little bit cluttered at the moment. But yeah, we could be trading from the 70 to the 30. And then move higher. That's also a concept, like an entry that you can take. So yeah, gold and silver do look nice. I'm gonna be honest. In terms of longs, right? Wait, let me see. Let me read that again. Here just webs the week's high. That up red with the war in the oil price. I think the session was bearish. Yeah, the session, like the whole session. I don't have enough data to just say, okay, the entire session is gonna be bearish, right? I can, however, say that, okay, Price can reject here, right? I'm in gold and silver SGS. Yeah, I know. And I did check gold and silver. They look nice. They do look nice. In terms of, you know, as you said, going higher. I do have bullish narrative on both the GNS. So this is now trading to that previous swing. Now, if you're trading longs here, beware where you're trading from. Okay, that's the first thing that I'm gonna add, because I drew this as an example. Yeah, this is the previous swing, but you have a double top here. Where? In an So not a good idea. Not a good idea to long. I do have a sweeping that entire zone though. That's ultimately my target with price. Well, when we do come lower. I think this is a yeah, not the best session because I don't have an entry today, and I didn't have one yesterday. I could have taken one, but it would be going against my rules because I would need to have taken the inner structure as, you know, kind of narrative, and forget about the external structure, because the external structure just wicked. And if this had a closure here, I would have taken that SNDR, but it didn't. And this pissed me off too, because I was waiting this entire time. I was like, okay, let me just take this then. I was looking at price. Okay, we're actually gonna take the high. Let me take. Nope. So I do, yeah, I do see a sweep here, and then a potential short going lower. No, not that, not that much, but yeah, I do see a sweep here. Oh, I hope you guys are winning today. I hope you guys are positive. Man, this green candle. Damn. And why this zone and why not the other one? A good question. This had 1, 2, 3 traded out, 4 taps. Let me see how many this had. If I can draw correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so with overlapping MMs, as I said, usually, yeah, take the highest one, right? Take the highest one. But what you see here is, let me just draw them both. So what you see here is that second sweep is essentially, well, the first, well, this zone. That sweep is essentially the tap of the top one, right? It would be the sweep and tap, and then it delivers the one-to-one, right? And then maybe goes higher to sweep that MM also. Or sweeps them both at the same time and gives you the exact same entry. That is essentially with MMs, if they overlap, like, it's really hard to mess up. I think I talked about this in the video about MMs, but it's really hard to mess up, because when price goes, it goes in one direction, right? And when it sweeps, yeah, you can make profits here, you can make profits here, you can make them like this, it doesn't matter, right? It's just really hard to mess up because it's always gonna tap something. with overlapping MMs, but with MMs that are, you know, alone, like this, for example, yeah, I mean, you didn't mess up. If you took a short here and took a loss, that's completely fine. It's just the statistic. Like, it's not a 100% entry. We know that, right? We know that there isn't a 100% entry out there. So essentially, yeah. We are MMing on top of this. I'm just not as confident because these touches are so close together. I would like to see them more spread out, because you could just see this, right? And then yeah, it can sweep, maybe go lower. I'm not entirely sold on this MM. Wait, is my... Yeah, so not a lot of price action going on. So if I do see a sweep here, I do expect us trading lower, right? I do see us trading lower. Possibly an entry being presented here. Possibly. Now we will continue to monitor, but there is a possibility of us, after sweeping that 307, creating a confirmation entry to go lower. And those sweeps were nice. Yeah, no further explanation needed in terms of just raw PA. Oh, this failed. This just almost nicked it. Almost nicked the inside of that zone. It didn't though. So the zone at 29 140. When you draw a zone, do you include the wicked highs? 140. 140. 140. Where is the 140? 29 140. Do you mean here? Oh no, we talked about this, right? It's essentially a zone that has been mitigated already, right? We went up above that high. This was a zone established, then we traded higher, wicked it, came down to the 50%, then went and left, right? It was already mitigated. I wouldn't count it as a good entry to trade from. Yeah, but I would take the last unmitigated zone, like the unmitigated one, which is 65 ticks. Oh, sorry, my bad. 149 is the 50. That's essentially what I would take, but I don't think this is a good place to really long from. Yeah, it has the sweep. I don't think it's a good place to long. When you've been practicing, do you just do all New York sessions, or you practicing narrative? At the start, I used to do all sessions because I wanted to get as many entries in, like at the start when you're learning about the strategy, like when it works, when it doesn't. I think it's good to, you know, do all sessions, But if you're trading 2022, 2023, when Asia was like doing nothing, I think it's reasonable to just do New York, right? From 9:30 to like 9:30 Eastern Standard Time to 12, right? Or more, or let's say 15 o'clock. So from 9:30 to 15, you can backtest this whole range. And with let me check. So if I go onto my dashboard, right, this is the forex tester. If I just go to show you, this is, let me just show you, hold on. There's a neat feature where you can, yeah, I think it's on FX Replay too, but it's really laggy. But I'll show you. The go-to function. You have the go-to function, you can do just New York Open, right? When the session opens up at 9:30 and when the session closes. So it's a really neat feature. So I would suggest you do that, yeah. If you end up taking forex tester. Because if you're trading futures, you should be backtesting futures. You know, like if you can afford the software, you should get the software, right? It's a good investment. It's a really good investment. Apart from funded accounts, it's probably the best investment you'll ever make. But it's literally the foundation to profitability. We are trading lower and really aggressively, as a matter of fact. Okay. That candle opened up and wanted lower. Oh. Damn. Came out of nowhere. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm in FX Replay Pro plan, so maybe when membership is done, I'll check out the other one too. Yeah, I mean, you can, I don't think you can test, yeah, both have free plans. So if you want, you can test it, I think. I don't know about Forex Tester though. The FX Replay Pro is really nice. I ended up switching, I canceled my membership and ended up switching to go to Forex Tester. Is this actually delivering? Damn. Yeah, structure does work. Structure does indeed work. Yeah, that MM we had, that this is trading from that. So yeah, that 30 is my ultimate goal for price, right? Or as I said, that low, right? That low was my target. I don't even know where half of these lines. Okay, yeah, this is, yeah, no, this is better, yeah. So this zone, like this SNDR, isn't really the best place to long from. Yeah, of course, you know, you can long it, but how this formed was like this. It put up a high, put up a low, and then it took out that high and took out that low, and then took out that high again, mitigated to the 50, and went higher. Yeah, I mean, you can take that zone. That's the last down move. Yeah. But essentially, it's a fractal here. I was looking at the bigger zone though. I did want to long the bigger zone. It just so happened that it didn't deliver. Well, it didn't present the entry, right? It mitigated it through and through. I was watching the candle just go to the 50 and leave. Yeah, I want to cry too. So yeah, essentially, The 30 of which zones are you looking to as target? You know the flip? This. This was the 70 that we were tapping, and I said we could get a rejection from it. And then... Yo, JQ, welcome. Yo, I haven't seen you say anything in the chat lately. But yeah, this is essentially this zone. But the MM... the MM is all the way up here. Yeah, it's the flip. It's the flip. The higher time frame. Yeah. So if you go to the 15, you can see it more clearly. And as we said, right? Yeah, price can reject, like at the start of the session. I said, yeah, price can reject here and then go lower. It can reject here and then go lower. It can reject here and go lower, right? We don't wanna be the narrator's of price. We wanna make money. We wanna see the setup, take the setup. This looks like a good 5-minute. Yeah, like a good 5-minute zone. The one up above. Oh yeah, let me just take note of what happened. Okay, never mind. I thought this was a flat candle low. It looked like it when I was zoomed out. Nah, it isn't. So the 1-to-1 on that zone, it did deliver. It did deliver the previous structure per se. And that low that I have us trading down below to is the protected low of the 1-minute trend. And if we could see price go higher from here, because this is the previous structure here. This is the previous structure. And after, well, if we don't get that closure down below here to go lower, essentially we're not looking for shorts on the M1. We're talking, right? So taking a swing here to go lower is risky behavior, since no protected low was actually broken, right? If you want to take that swing, that 50% to go lower, it's probably not a good idea. Since you would actually be going against M1 narrative. Let me see how my Apple Watch is looking. Oh, it's looking like 75%. But yeah, ultimately, there was an entry here, but it just isn't anymore for me. And I was kind of hoping that we're gonna get, right, lower, tap that flip, and then go higher. Maybe the second swing we can long from the SNDR. But unfortunately, it's taken a long time. A long time. Why not anymore? Because just the formation of the zone alone I didn't really like. I'm not saying that it's not gonna deliver. I'm just saying that my discretion alarm is going off. Yeah, this can in fact deliver. 68 ticks, right? 68 ticks this zone is. And if you have a sufficient number of swings coming down into the zone, yeah, go ahead. Of course, you know, if it's by your rules. It's just the zone is not the big one, rather the small one, like this. This would be your zone, right? Your stops would be from the 50 all the way down here, right? If we're looking at structure alone, you can look at the 5-second. You'll see what I'm talking about. I would actually be I could just take that on my eval. You know, the more I think about it. That's like $680 of risk, which is not that much. That also aligns with the low sweep. Yeah, it does. It does, but this is not the prettiest. Not the prettiest. As I said, I do like that first stab, you know, that partial mitigation, that first mitigation, to be closer. And these two, yeah, of course, it delivered that 1-to-1. We have the tap number 1, tap number 2. It does align with sweep, yeah. Essentially, what you're doing, right, is, yeah, longing that 15. I think it's 50. Is it 5 minutes? I think it's 5 minutes. Because 15 did. Oh, it did. Okay, so it's a 15-minute. And the 5-minute also has a fractal here. Yeah, have confidence, guys. Have confidence in the entry. You know you backtested it. What's holding you back? Right? Press the button. If you know that your entry is statistically proven, take it. Right? Take the entry. Don't be scared. This does not want to go lower yet. Seems like, look at this wick. 22 points. 22 points. This would be, Wingsane, this would be for me an eval trade, right? If I had an eval, I would be taking this on the eval, right? Because on the eval, we want to, well, I personally want to, you know, get as many entries in as possible, right? I want to pass the account. But on the PAs, I do love a little bit more consistency, because with an amount of entries, like, I'm fine with losing the eval. I'm just not fine with losing the PA. So I do dial back the risk settings a little bit, and, you know, take the entries that are by rules exactly. And look at this. This is just, this does not want to go. So yeah, I hope I answered your question, Wings. Well, question. This would be something that I would take on the eval, not the PA though. At the end of the day, there's it does matter what your risk settings, like your risk parameters are. How much are you willing to risk? Are you willing to lose the account? Like, all of these things come into play when we're talking about what entry to take. Is it gonna be an A plus entry all the time? Is it gonna be like B entry? Is it gonna be well, is it also gonna be B entries, right? Like everything comes together then. So I'm gonna be live for 15 more minutes. Yeah, I think 15 more minutes is gonna be nice. And I'm gonna head to the gym then. I want to see what this happens, this MM, like this sweep. I want to see what happens. Not a whole lot happening though, not a whole lot. And just mitigating this over and over again. Yeah, this let me mark it as M&M. Are we gonna go for that 1-to-1 again? We've been in this range for about an hour now. Like this single range. We've been in it for an hour. Took a 1-to-1 on M1 SNDR. Yo. Where is the SNDR though? Is it this? You mean the bearish one, John? If you did, I mean, yeah, good trade. A nice winner. If you took it on the M1 SNDR, yeah, I mean, I generally do take trades from structure, and yeah, I mean, this was a valid break of structure to the downside. We just weren't in a bearish trend. Right, we're still in the bullish trend. This is the low that we have to break in order for it to become a bearish trend. It's a valid trade. It's a counter trend trade, and yeah, a good scalp, I guess. Yeah, but we are still rejecting off of this zone. You see, to have 1, 2, 3, 4 taps, right? Does not want to break. So if you do end up continuing higher, I do see a sweep of that, right? A sweep of that and then go lower. Imagine us again going from MM to MM. Just stuck in this tiny range. Almost like the market is doing that already. Going from MM to MM. But yeah, nah, that low is still my target. We have this gatekeeper zone over here. Insert the "come on, do something," the guy with the stick image. Let me find it all. Yeah, I found him. Bang. Perfect. Perfect. This can still reject before breaking the high and then go higher. Yeah, I think that's a possible outcome. Let me just delete. So we know this is the 30 of the higher time frame, 4-hour zone, and we are now in a slight pullback. So this high, if we do end up breaking with a body closure, would then become, well, this high and low would then become the previous swing, right? So guys, do you have any questions? Because this PA is just not doing anything at the moment. Do you guys have any questions? Because we are in the range, and I am in the mood to answer some. Like in terms of anything. Yeah, beware though. I'm only here for another 8 minutes, and then I'll pop off. Mark out that high. That high is marked. Go enjoy losing weight. Yeah, I mean, nothing major is happening. Yeah, I gotta hit cardio. I mean, I do enjoy it, by the way. It is nice. The process, like you see new things in your body you haven't seen before. You know, losing weight is extremely satisfying once you get in like the low body fat percentage, or not, right? If you have high body fat, just seeing one new line in your body that you haven't seen before is extremely rewarding. Who ate in a calorie deficit, it's worth it. I don't know, for me, I have that kind of mentality when it comes to the gym, when it comes to any sort of stuff. I get them to be really disciplined. So if that high gives us a body closure, and if there just happens to be a zone here, you could, I'm not gonna say that you could long, because we are expecting a rejection up here. Like this is the top, like the top of the range. I am expecting, and nearing the highs, my bad, I am expecting a trade or price trading into the opposing direction. So a long here, I mean, it can be counter trend scalp. I'm just looking for lower prices. For example, a zone here, yeah, would be nice. I will get there at some point, and I will call it CrossFit and get punched rather than cardio. Ah, CrossFit, yeah. I mean, hey, whatever your heart desires, right? Whatever your heart desires. But yeah, I mean, if there's no further questions, you guys do have these zones that could facilitate a short, and you guys have that down here that could facilitate a long, right? So make sure to put these rectangles on your chart, because they do seem to deliver quite often. Yeah, I mean, yeah, at least somewhere, yeah, but it is moving extra slow. Of course, no volatility. We don't have any news this week, so low volatility. But yeah, just mark out these zones. They are gonna help you in terms of if you want to learn this in more detail, just mark out these zones, right? So you know what to look for. Without further ado, I think we've reached a good conclusion to the stream. The price was slow today, and I had no caffeine, which is a new PR for me. So yeah, look for a body closure up above here, and a possible sweep to go lower. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. I will be ending the stream here. I really appreciate you coming, and I'll see you on Friday. So take care, and God bless. Bye bye, guys. Bye bye. No worries, always. Come for Friday too, and Sunday. Okay, bye bye.